Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel in the first place. Today we have a 7 minutes in heaven with Bakugou. Yeah, so let's get into it. You were known for your shyness, and Mina, she was known for her ways of persuasion. Come on, listener, just play some games with us. You could get to know your classmates more, and soon she had you hooked. Fine, you replied. I guess it wouldn't hurt to try. You had stuttered the last part. But truth be told, you were terrified of what was going to happen. Taking a seat in the circle of your fellow Class 1A students, your face went red when both your Araka and Deku both yelled hello to you from the other side of the circle. You were quite easily embarrassed, and they were not helping. Mina then sat down next to Kaminari, who let a loose, cheeky grin. Alrighty guys, we're going to be playing, drumroll please, 7 minutes in heaven. You heard a few groans and a few sounds of pleasure from the circle. You likewise were unfamiliar with the game and were slightly excited. Kaminari then revealed a hat with many tiny slips of paper in it. He then proceeded to pass the hat around with each person taking a slip of paper. Soon enough, it was your turn to choose one. You gingerly picked up one at random, not opening it yet. You peered around the circle to interpret your classmates' expressions, when your eyes locked with none other than Katsuki Bakugou. He gave a slight smile and then turned to talk to Kirishima, who sat beside him. Not thinking much of your interaction with Bakugou, you turned to Kaminari, instructing everyone to look at their papers. Yours said 1. Alright, who has number 1? You raised your hand timidly, unsure of what to do. Bakugou also raised his hand, but unlike your almost fearful expression, Bakugou wore a calm, collected one. You heard a whistle from Kirishima, and next thing you knew, you were shoved in a closet with the ash-blonde boy. You were still confused on the purpose of this game, but you were too scared to ask Bakugou. You both stood in silence for a while till you mustered up the courage to ask, do you know what the whole idea of this game is? See, I've never played, and you suddenly stopped when Bakugou sneered. You thought he found you idiotic for your statement, till you replied, It's basically where two people get locked in a closet together for 7 minutes. He paused. Usually, people just make out or sit in silence. You nodded slowly, then another question struck you, and with a small confidence boost, you asked still very timidly and quiet, What does making out mean? You half-heartedly expected a sneer, but what happened next was quite a surprise. Bakugou leaned in and started kissing your lips. Yours pressed against his, and they felt so sweet and happy that you didn't want it to end. He tasted of a summer strawberry and only pulled away once he heard the click of the lock being undone. Bakugou grinned at you as the door opened, and to your surprise, there stood the rest of your class who had been sitting at the circle, each of them holding a slip of paper with the number clearly stated, an undeniable number 1. It took a second for it to click, and you glanced at Bakugou with wide eyes as he looked angrily at the group and yelled loudly, Did you have something to do with his shitty hair? Then a second thing clicked in your mind. Bakugou liked you. Sorry, Bakubro. Kirishima shoved Bakugou back into the closet and locked the door behind him. I don't want to die today. The rest of the class scattered except for you, still comprehending what had happened. You then unlocked the door, and Bakugou rushed out and said a quick thanks to you before running out and probably exploding the entire class. You ran after him, hoping to try and stop him from killing them all, hoping he wouldn't kill you as well. Alright, so bonus 1 because that one was a bit short. This is Kirishima. So, how will we do this? You asked, sitting in the classroom along with most of your other classmates. The desks were pushed aside, and it was the end of the day. We can just spin a bottle, and it would be easier. Yaoyorozu said, a bottle forming from her thigh. She placed it on the floor. Gather up, everyone, a tall boy said. He had half-rimmed glasses and was also known to be the class president. Everyone gathered around in a circle, though you noticed a few people were missing. You shrugged it off, though. Since you were the new student, you were going first. You grabbed the bottle, taking a deep breath, and spinning it. It slowly began to slow down, eventually landing on a boy with red spiky hair and a scar above one of his eyes. They widened, looking up at you. Well, Kirishima and listener, follow me, Ashido smirked, leading you and Kirishima out of the class. The 3 of you walked to the storage room that was nearby. Ashido opened the door, and then shoved the 2 of you into the small room. You turned around, gulping as the door closed. A clicking sound was heard as the door shut. Have fun, she giggled, her footsteps fading off as she walked. You stood there silently in the corner, scratching the back of your head. Though you couldn't see it, Kirishima was blushing, glancing at you every now and then. So, what do you want to do now? He asked. His voice was quiet, and it was hard to tell how he was feeling about the situation. Um, I've never played the game before, so, you said nervously, averting your eyes. After that came an awkward moment of silence. That was until he spoke up once more. Would you like me to guide you? He asked you. Kirishima screamed internally for several reasons. You bit your bottom lip, stuttering a response. Sure. You could hear him get closer until your back was against the door. He put his hands on your cheeks, lifting your head that way you were looking in his direction. You blushed, saying, "What are you doing?" Before you could talk any further, he kissed you on the lips. He pulled back, looking at you as his lips turned into a smirk. You were almost red, your ears and cheeks were feeling hot. He leaned forward again, which resulted in a little squeak coming from you. He pulled back, his eyes widening at your reaction. Sorry if I surprised you. The door suddenly opened, leading you to fall onto the floor and Kirishima to fall on top of you. Your face got even darker than before, if that was even possible, and you put the back of your hand over your mouth, looking away. You saw Suyu was holding the door handle. Her cheeks began to turn a bit pink as she said, well, time's up. Alright, so that's the end of this one. I hope you enjoyed. I apologize if you heard my stomach noises in the background. They were kind of just there because I need to go eat because it's lunchtime. Sorry, it's funny to me. Either way, the music link and Discord link will be in the description, and DM me on Discord if you'd like to join the server. Yeah, so sorry about this one being a bit shorter, but hopefully I will see you in the next one, and goodbye!